Have you ever felt something strange in your chest, maybe just a little pressure, a mild discomfort, and thought, it's probably nothing? You're not alone. Most seniors have brushed off these early signals at least once, and sadly, that moment of hesitation can be fatal. The body doesn't always shout when something goes wrong. It whispers. And in the case of heart attacks, those whispers are your warning. But here's the problem. They're often so quiet, so subtle, that most people miss them. Especially people over 60, especially if you've never had heart issues before, or if you think you know what a heart attack should feel like. Most of us picture the dramatic scenes from movies, clutching the chest, collapsing suddenly. But real life isn't always like that. In reality, a heart attack can begin with a soft ache under your jaw, a wave of nausea, or just a feeling like you're unusually tired. And these are especially common in older adults, and even more so in women. Let me tell you about Richard. He's 74, lives alone, retired after decades in accounting. One afternoon, he was reading the newspaper when he noticed a tightness across his collarbone. No crushing pain, no sudden collapse, just tightness. He thought it might be indigestion, but then he noticed his breath felt shallow, like he had just jogged upstairs, even though he was sitting still. His palms started sweating. He remembered an article he'd read, something about early signs being different for seniors. That article saved his life. He called for help. Paramedics arrived, confirmed a heart attack, and got him stabilized. That's the difference awareness makes. So what should you look for? Here are the most common, but often ignored, warning signs for older adults. A persistent pressure in the center of your chest, like something heavy sitting there. Shortness of breath even when you're resting. Pain or discomfort that spreads to your arms, jaw, neck, back, or even your stomach. Sudden cold sweat or dizziness, not linked to anything obvious. Unexplained fatigue that hits like a wave. Now imagine this. Your body is a car engine. Normally it hums quietly, but one day it starts to sputter, not stall, just sputter. Do you ignore it because it's still running? Or do you get it checked before it completely fails? Your body works the same way. Don't wait until the check engine light is flashing. Many people, especially older adults, downplay their symptoms. You tell yourself, I'm just tired, or it's probably gas, or I'll wait a bit. But the truth is, if it feels off, it's worth taking seriously. The earlier you recognize these signs, the better your odds. Because in a heart attack, minutes are muscle. Every second that your heart goes without oxygen is a second of potential damage. And sometimes, the scariest part, you feel fine a few minutes later. The pressure lifts, the sweat dries, the nausea fades. You think it passed. But that calm might be the eye of the storm. The real wave could be coming next. So, don't second-guess yourself. Trust what your body is telling you, even if it seems mild, even if you've never had a problem before. The worst-case scenario of being wrong is an awkward ER visit. But the worst-case scenario of waiting too long is never getting to tell someone you waited. Think back. Have you ever experienced shortness of breath, chest tightness, or extreme fatigue with no clear reason? Did you ignore it? Did it pass? Or did it scare you a little? Share it in the comments below, not just to share, but to remind others that this can happen to anyone, and your story might wake someone else up in time. And if you're still watching, it means you're someone who cares about your health, about your life, and maybe even about someone else's. Don't just watch, learn, and live. Now let's move forward to the next life-saving step. What's the very next thing you should do when you suspect a heart attack? Call for help. Immediately. Not 5 minutes from now. Not after you wait and see. Not after you call a friend or your child or sit down to rest. The moment you feel that something is wrong, dial emergency services. Because every minute that passes is heart muscle lost. But here's what often happens, especially with seniors. You hesitate. You worry you're overreacting. You don't want to cause a fuss. You wonder, what if it's not serious? And sometimes, you even start to feel a little better after sitting down. So you talk yourself out of it. But here's the hard truth. Heart attacks can escalate in minutes. What starts as a whisper can turn into a scream, and by then, it might be too late. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 78. One morning, she felt a strange ache in her left shoulder, followed by nausea and a clammy sweat. She almost called her son, but she remembered something her nurse had told her. If you are alone and feel the signs of a heart attack, call 911 first. Talk to your family later. So she did. Paramedics arrived within 7 minutes. By then, her symptoms had worsened, but because she called early, they were ready to stabilize her on the spot. That single phone call saved her life. Calling emergency services doesn't just send help, it sets a life-saving machine into motion. Paramedics are trained to respond while en route. They bring oxygen, monitors, medications, and the tools to restart your heart if it stops. If you wait too long or decide to drive yourself, you may never make it to the hospital. Let's talk about that. Do not drive yourself. You might think, it's only a 10-minute ride. But what if your symptoms spike mid-drive? What if you lose consciousness behind the wheel? You could harm yourself or others and still delay getting help. Think about this instead. Pick up your phone. Press the emergency call. On most smartphones, you don't even need to unlock the screen. Some have a red SOS slider. Some have a side button you press 5 times fast. Learn it. Practice it. Teach it to someone else. And if speaking becomes difficult, press the emergency call and say just this: heart, alone, address. That's enough for a trained dispatcher to send help your way. Still worried about false alarms? Don't be. Emergency responders would rather answer a dozen false calls than miss the one that was real. They won't be upset if it turns out to be indigestion. They won't roll their eyes. They'll thank you for being cautious, because one day it won't be a false alarm. And if you live alone, make your phone part of your daily routine. Keep it within reach, in a pocket, on a table near you, not in the next room. Every second counts, and your phone is the fastest way to reach help. Ask yourself this: if a heart attack happened right now, do you know where your phone is? Can you reach it within 5 seconds? If not, fix that today, not tomorrow. Today. Because this step, the call, is the one that connects you to survival. All the knowledge, all the breathing, all the preparation only matter if help is actually on its way. So the moment something feels wrong, pick up the phone, call, say what you can, stay on the line, let them take it from there. If you're watching this and learning something new, comment, "I'm ready to act" below. Or tag someone who lives alone and needs to hear this. Because the life you save might not just be your own. Now let us move on to what could be the most powerful item in your home and how it might already be in your medicine cabinet. There's a tiny white pill that could double your chance of surviving a heart attack. You might already have it at home, maybe tucked away in a cabinet or purse. It doesn't cost much, doesn't require a prescription, and yet it could be the reason you walk out of the hospital instead of never making it there. That pill is aspirin, but not just swallowing it, chewing it, right away, calmly, even if your hands are shaking. Let's talk about why. A heart attack usually happens when a blood clot blocks the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your heart muscle. Aspirin works fast to thin your blood and slow the growth of that clot. And the quicker you take it, the more time you buy your heart. But timing isn't everything. How you take it matters too. Swallowing an aspirin whole can take 10-15 minutes before your body starts absorbing it. Chewing it gets it into your bloodstream almost immediately. That difference could be the oxygen your heart needs to stay alive until help arrives. Take Joe, for example. He's 72. One morning, he felt tightness radiate from his chest to his neck. He remembered he had aspirin in the kitchen. Instead of panicking, he chewed one slowly and sat down to wait for the paramedics. Later, his cardiologist told him that move, simple as it was, likely kept his heart attack from turning deadly. That's not just a coincidence, it's science. Emergency medical teams around the world are trained to give aspirin to heart attack patients the moment they arrive, because it works. Now, let's talk about how to do this safely. Use regular aspirin. That's 325 mg, uncoated if possible. Avoid enteric-coated or delayed-release tablets unless it's all you have. Then chew it anyway. Don-T take if you're allergic to aspirin or if your doctor told you to avoid blood thinners. Don't worry about an empty stomach. In a heart attack, the risk of not taking aspirin far outweighs the risk of mild stomach irritation. And here is something you can do right now. Put aspirin somewhere you can reach it without getting up. Store some in your nightstand, kitchen drawer, coat pocket, even your wallet. Make sure it's not expired. Tell your spouse, your kids, your neighbors. One tiny pill, one calm choice, one more heartbeat. Because in the moment, you won't have time to fumble through drawers or read labels. You need it right there, ready. Preparation saves lives. And unlike CPR or medical tools, this is something you can do, alone, at home, within seconds. Some people still hesitate. They think, I'll wait for the ambulance, or I don't want to do the wrong thing. But here's the truth. Aspirin won't stop the heart attack, but it will slow it down. And sometimes, that's the exact window of time you need. So if you live alone or love someone who does, don't wait. Make sure aspirin is always within reach. Because this isn't just about having medicine, it's about having a plan. What about you? Do you know where your aspirin is right now? Comment, I am stocked and ready below if you've already taken this step, or make today the day you do. Now that you've taken your aspirin and help is on the way, what should you do next? The answer might surprise you, because the next life-saving action is to do almost nothing. Let's move forward. You've recognized the signs. You've made the call. You've taken the aspirin. Now what? Now, you stop. That's right. No packing a bag. No unlocking windows. No pacing back and forth wondering if the ambulance is coming. The next action that could save your life is inaction. Why? Because every movement you make demands more oxygen. And during a heart attack, your heart is already struggling. It's like a machine running on backup power. Any extra effort can tip it into failure. The smartest thing you can do? Conserve every bit of energy your heart has left. Let's look at what that means in real terms. Sit down, ideally in a sturdy chair with back support. Keep your feet flat on the ground. Let your arms rest gently on your thighs or the chair's armrests. Stay upright, but relaxed. This position lowers the pressure on your heart and lungs while keeping your airway open. If you feel dizzy or faint, lie down on your left side with your head slightly elevated. But only if you can do so safely. Don't collapse onto the floor or climb stairs just to lie down. If sitting is safer, stay sitting. This isn't just theory. It's real-world wisdom from survivors. Alice, 81, started feeling a squeezing sensation across her chest one evening after dinner. Her first instinct, wash the dishes, clean up the kitchen. I didn't want the paramedics to see a mess, she later said. But something in her memory stopped her. Something her doctor once told her. If it feels like your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sat. She breathed. She waited. Paramedics said her decision to stop moving likely prevented a full cardiac arrest. Stillness doesn't mean powerlessness. It means strategy. You are protecting your most vital muscle by letting it do less. You may feel awkward or even guilty, just sitting there. But here's what you need to remember. Doing nothing is doing something. You're giving your heart a chance to catch up. You're lowering your risk of arrhythmia. You're buying time. And while you sit, focus on your breath. Let it slow naturally. We'll talk more about breathing techniques later, but for now, just know this. Your job is to stay calm, stay still, and stay alive. There's one more tip people often overlook. If your chair doesn't have armrests or back support, avoid slumping. Keep your spine gently upright. That helps your lungs expand and your heart stay stable. If you're alone, and the thought of just waiting scares you, know that it's okay to be scared. That fear is valid, but your calm response is stronger. Stronger than panic. Stronger than pain. Stronger than the instinct to push through. And if you've ever felt chest discomfort, and ignored it because you had to finish something, now is the time to break that habit. The dishes can wait. The email can wait. Life can't. Comment below if you've ever caught yourself toughing it out when you should have slowed down. Your story could be the nudge someone else needs to take symptoms seriously. Now, while you're sitting, let us talk about one tiny action that could make a huge difference by the time help arrives. It's not about your body, it's about your home. Let's move forward. Imagine this. An ambulance pulls up to your house, lights flashing, medics inside with the gear that can save your life. But when they reach your door, it's locked. Now what? They bang. They shout. They try to force it open. Every second passes like a minute. Seconds you don't have. That's why this next tip might seem small, but it could be life-saving. Unlock your door. If you've already called emergency services, taken aspirin and sat down to rest, and you're still steady enough to move a few feet safely, unlock your front door. Why? Because even though paramedics are trained to break in if needed, doing so adds time. It may cause injury if you're nearby. And most importantly, it delays treatment. Take Paul, 76. He lives in a small condo. When his symptoms began, he called 911, chewed his aspirin, and, before sitting, unlocked his door. Paramedics told him later that single steps saved them from having to break in and helped them reach him 30 seconds faster. "I never thought of that," he said. But those seconds mattered. Here's what to think about before a crisis ever happens. Can your front door be opened easily from the inside? Is your house or apartment number visible from the street, even at night? If you live in a gated community, can paramedics get in without a code? Do you have a spare key that a neighbor or nearby friend can access? If the idea of getting to your door during an emergency seems hard, consider preparing in advance. Install a lockbox with a spare key and share the code with your local fire department or trusted neighbor. Even better, a smart lock that you or a loved one can unlock remotely. And remember, only unlock the door if it's safe. If you're dizzy, weak, or feel like you might collapse, stay put. Paramedics will get to you. But if you're close and confident, take that moment now. It might buy back critical time. This might also be the time to move your emergency supplies, like aspirin or phone chargers, closer to the front of the house, where you can grab them easily without effort. Think smart. Think ahead. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you have a plan for emergency access? Comment, "I've prepped my door," if you already have a system, or "doing it today," if this is your wake-up call. Your home should never be the barrier between you and the help you need. Now that we've cleared the path for emergency responders, let's talk about the other vital tool you already have in your hands, your phone, and how it can do far more than just make a call. Let's move forward. By now you've probably realized your most powerful survival tool isn't just medical, it's digital. It's your phone. But not just for calling 911. Your smartphone can become your lifeline in ways you might not expect. Let's start with one simple change. Use speakerphone. Once you call emergency services, switch to speaker. Why? Because holding a phone to your ear, especially when you're scared, dizzy, or short of breath, can actually make things worse. Your muscles tense, your breath shortens. You may even drop the phone. But with speakerphone, your hands are free. You can sit still, focus on your breathing, and still talk to the dispatcher. More importantly, they can hear you, your breathing, your environment. Even if you stop talking, they can listen for signs of distress. That information could save you when words fail. And here's where smartphones really shine: your medical ID. Every iPhone and most Android phones allow you to set up a medical profile, visible even when the phone is locked. It includes your name and birth date, medical conditions, like diabetes, heart disease, medications you're taking. Allergies, emergency contacts. This means if you lose consciousness, paramedics can see exactly what they need to treat you safely, without needing a password or guesswork. Take Susan, 79. She collapsed just minutes before help arrived, but her phone showed she was allergic to penicillin. That small detail prevented a dangerous medication from being used and saved her life. Her phone also listed her daughter as an emergency contact, who got the call immediately. Setting this up takes less than 5 minutes, and it lasts forever. If you haven't done it yet, pause this video, grab your phone, and do it now. We'll be here when you get back. Don't know how? Ask a younger family member, search online for your device, or visit your nearest tech store. This one action doesn't just prepare you, it prepares the people trying to save you. And let's talk about another tool, emergency SOS features. Most smartphones let you press a button combo to immediately call 911, share your location, and alert your emergency contacts. On iPhones, it's 5 quick presses of the side button. On Android, it's often similar. Learn it, practice it, teach it. Because in a real emergency, you might not be able to see the screen, type a number, or explain where you are. But one trained movement? That's muscle memory. Here's the key insight. Your phone isn't just a gadget. It's your backup brain, your voice when you can't speak, your advocate when you're unconscious. But only if you set it up. So I challenge you, right now, comment medical ID set if you already use this feature. Or doing it today if you're setting it up after this video. Because when the stakes are high, preparation is power. We've covered what to do with your body, your environment, and your technology. Now let's explore one final action that works from the inside out. Your breath. It might be the most underrated survival tool of them all. Let's move forward. You're sitting. You've taken aspirin. You've called for help. The door is unlocked. And now, panic starts to rise. Your heart feels like it's racing. Your chest tightens. Thoughts swirl. What if they don't get here in time? What if this gets worse? What if I'm dying? And yet in that storm, there's one tool left. It's always with you. Your breath. Controlled breathing won't stop a heart attack, but it can stop your body from spiraling into full-blown panic. And that, in turn, gives your heart its best shot at holding steady until help arrives. Let's explain how it works. When you're frightened, your nervous system kicks into fight or flight. Your body floods with adrenaline. Your heart rate climbs. Your muscles tense. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. This makes your heart work even harder when what it really needs is rest. Slowing your breath triggers the opposite response. It tells your body, we're safe, we're calming down. It lowers blood pressure. It reduces strain on your heart. It gives you back control. And the best part? It's simple. Try this with me. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath gently for 1 second. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Pause, then repeat. That's it. 4 in, 6 out. No fancy apps, no training, just rhythm. Do this for a full minute, or as long as you can. Not only does it reduce panic, it gives your mind something to focus on. A lifeline when your world feels like it's collapsing. Frank, 83, knows this firsthand. When his heart attack started, he felt overwhelmed. It was like drowning in fear, he said. But then he remembered something his doctor taught him, this exact breathing technique. He sat back, focused on his breath, and let the panic pass. When paramedics arrived, his heart was unstable, but he hadn't gone into full arrest. That's the power of breath. Now, here's how to make this instinctive. Practice it regularly, when you're watching TV, when you're lying in bed, when you're waiting in line. The more familiar it becomes, the more likely your body will fall back on it when panic hits. And don't underestimate its impact. Breathing can't fix a blocked artery, but it can keep oxygen flowing. It can prevent rhythm disturbances. It can give you clarity when fear wants to take over. So if you ever find yourself alone, afraid, and in pain, take that first breath, then another, and another. Each one tells your heart, I'm here, I'm calm, we're going to make it. Right now, take a minute and try it. 4 in, 6 out. Then comment, still and strong below if you felt the difference. Because staying still is good, but staying calm, that's what keeps you alive. In the next section, we'll shift from reaction to preparation, what you can do right now before anything goes wrong to stack the odds in your favor. Let's move forward. Preparation doesn't stop heart attacks, but it changes their outcome. Imagine two people, both living alone. Both feel the early signs of a heart attack one quiet evening. One of them panics. Their aspirin is buried in a cabinet. Their phone is in the other room. They hesitate to call for help. They forget to unlock the door. The other? They know exactly what to do. Their aspirin is within reach. Their phone is set up with medical ID. They stay calm, unlock the door, and breathe. Same heart attack, different ending. So let us talk about what you can do today, before anything happens, to prepare yourself or someone you love. Here's a simple survival checklist. 1. Make your aspirin accessible. Keep regular 325 mg aspirin tablets in key places, beside your bed, in your wallet or purse, in the kitchen drawer. Label them clearly. Don't let them expire. Avoid coded or time-release pills if possible. 2. Set up your phone. Add your medical ID. Conditions, meds, allergies, emergency contacts. Learn the emergency SOS shortcut on your phone. Save ICE in case of emergency contacts. Keep your phone charged and nearby, always 3. Create a visible address and clear entry. Make sure your house number is visible from the street, especially at night. In apartments, post a note near your door with your name and unit. Consider a lockbox or smart lock if you live alone. 4. Share your plan. Tell a neighbor or friend what to do if you ever call them during an emergency. Teach family how to access your lockbox or medical info. Write your emergency plan down and post it somewhere visible. 5. Practice your breath. You know it now. 4 in, 6 out. Make it part of your day. Even 5 minutes a week helps make it second nature. 6. Review and rehearse. Once a month, run a quick self-check. Where's your aspirin? Can you unlock your door quickly? Is your medical ID up to date? Do you know the signs? Could you act in 30 seconds? This isn't about living in fear. It's about replacing fear with readiness, like putting on a seatbelt, not because you expect a crash, but because you value your life. Think about this. When the worst happens, it's not your luck that saves you. It's your actions. And the quality of those actions is shaped by the choices you make before anything goes wrong. So, I encourage you, right now, to commit. Download or print a checklist. Post it on your fridge. Go through your home, your phone, your routine. Make the changes. And if you've already done some of these steps, comment "prepared and proud" below, or tag someone who needs to see this. Because preparation isn't just for you. It's a gift to your future self and to the people who care about you. In the final part of this video, we'll bring it all together with real stories, a powerful reminder, and a message of hope that no matter your age or your circumstances, you are not powerless. Let's move forward. There's something uniquely terrifying about a heart attack. It doesn't knock politely. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It comes fast, loud, or worse, quiet, and leaves you feeling completely alone. But here's what this entire video has shown you. Even when you're alone, you're not powerless. You have tools, you have knowledge, you have time, if you act. Let's revisit the stories. Richard, who paid attention to a strange pressure near his collarbone and acted instead of brushing it off. Linda, who called 911 before calling her family and gave paramedics the time they needed to help. Joe, who chewed an aspirin with trembling hands and gave his heart a fighting chance. Alice, who resisted the urge to tidy up and instead sat down and survived. Paul, who unlocked his door and saved paramedics critical seconds. Susan, whose medical ID told paramedics everything they needed to know when she couldn't. Frank, who calmed his spiraling fear with a breath and made it to see another day. These aren't superheroes. These are people like you. People who didn't let panic win. People who remembered one step then another. People who survived. And now, you're one of them. Because you watched this video. You learned the signs. You practiced the breath. You made a plan. And that means something. It means the next time something feels off, you'll trust your instinct. It means you'll act faster. It means you'll stay calmer. It means you might not just survive, you might help someone else survive too. So, take a moment. Think about what stood out to you most today. Was it something you hadn't heard before? A step you didn't realize could matter so much? A story that reminded you of someone you care about? Comment below and share it. Tell us what you're taking with you and what you'll do next. Because heart attacks don't wait, but neither should you. Prepare today. Act when it counts. And remember, even alone, you are never helpless. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support helps us reach more people who need this knowledge, maybe even someone whose life depends on it. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. You matter more than you know.